Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. May peace and blessing be upon you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Echo of Change. If you like our videos, please comment on them, share them, also subscribe to our channel, and we appreciate your continued support. Today's topic is very controversial, yet is very important. We need to talk about it. Do Muslims hate Jewish people or Jews? And there is this misconception. There's a lot of people think that there is a clash of two religions, which is the reason why there is a massive difference in the ideology and there is a hate between the two. I can tell you categorically that is not true. Muslims do not hate Jews, and Muslims do not hate Israel. Now, for us to understand the current state, we have to understand the history. Now, without going into it too much, we all know how Israel came to being, and Palestinians have this bone of contention around they allowing refugees, i.e. Jewish people who were oppressed and were persecuted across Europe and other places. They gave them the place to live, and then they claimed that as their land or homeland overnight. Fundamentally, we don't even have a problem with people claiming a piece of land as the homeland, because people want to exercise and be free in a land which they can call a homeland. We don't have a problem with that. I don't think Muslims have a problem with that. And over a period of time, people have forgave and forgotten how Israel came to be. Now, the challenge is continued. But I can tell you, Muslims do not hate Jewish people. And why is the problem continuing is what's something that I'm going to discuss and try and unpick and try and understand what the problem statement is. Now, the reality is, if Jewish people who claimed Israel, that the Palestinian land, kept that place as their homeland and not continuously expanded it, now, it's got nothing to do with Judaism. It's got nothing to do with Jewish religion. It's got all to do with Zionism. That is the problem. Zionists have an agenda to create a state which is greater Israel. And I will try and explain to you why that is. And obviously, because of that, this animosity has been created between Muslims and Jewish people. Now, Zionism, it promotes greater Israel, not Jewish people. I have many friends who are Jews, and we get on with very well. Absolutely amazing people. And in fact, there is certain things that I personally envy about them, how united they are and how they look after each other and the support system that they create for each other. It's just something that we should be learning from. But going back to the Zionism, is by any means, if that means they have to demolish Palestinians' homes by force, throw them out of their homes, oppress them, squeeze them, grab as much land as possible, create illegal settlements by war, by oppression, all of that, that is no problem in Zionism, which is what causes hate. It's more political than religious, I would say. Now, the problems Muslim world has with Israel is the oppression of Palestinians, which is fundamentally right. If they both live side by side with peace, love, don't oppress each other, allow them to exercise the freedom of the religion, allow them freedom, do not oppress them, don't take their livelihoods, don't take their land, don't kill their children, each other, then it's perfect match. But that is not the case. As you've seen in the United Nations Security Council, the president of Turkey very bravely shown the map from, I think, 1946 all the way to 2019. Palestine, which was very big, has gone very small, and Israel, which was very, very small and nominal, became very big. And that's been done by any means, mostly by oppressing Palestinians. And that's the problem that the Muslim world has with Israel, not with Jewish people. This Zionist Israeli government and people that support that Zionism. That's where the problem is. There is no other problem. Now, we talked about two-state solution. If we can implement that and give their boundaries to each other and allow them to govern their own people and govern their own state and own land, there is no problem, ladies and gentlemen. But this is where people have friction with Israel, especially in the Muslim world. If you look at the flag of Israel, you see two blue lines, top and the bottom. Now they mean something. Obviously the Star of David is in the middle, but those two blue lines, they mean something. Those actually represent, the top line is the river of Euphrates, and the bottom one is the river of Nile. And everything else in the middle allegedly should belong to people of Israel. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Greater Israel plan. To have every land in between those two rivers. And within that, there's Lebanon. There's Palestine, obviously, which is squeezing. Syria, Jordan, Iraq, there is part of Iran, there is part of Egypt, there is part of Saudi Arabia, and it's touching borders just literally very, very near inside Turkey. And that is the plan. They have to have all of that land and claimed as Greater Israel. And to achieve that plan, everything else has been orchestrated.